Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Spider-Cam! Spider-Pig! Spider-Pig!
Welcome, randos, to the Fandom at Random podcast. That is Brian.
Over here?
And I go by many names, but I guess I will go by Ed today.
The smarter half of the two, but not as good looking.
Well, you know, you got to have the looks, you got to have the brains, so we need a wild card.
Luckily, we have both. Yeah.
Welcome in, randos, and today we are doing a random reaction for Spider-Man No Way Home. The official teaser trailer has dropped. We are excited to talk about this.
Came out of nowhere.
But right off the bat, if you are not following us, head on over to fandomatrandom.com. You can find the ways to like us, follow us. All our socials are there. And if you hit the little watch button, please subscribe to us and like and follow us on YouTube. It would really help us out. And unfortunately, Brian had a little oopsie.
Yeah.
If you have been following us on YouTube, thank you. But you're not going to be able to see too much of us today.
Not this one. A little brain technical oopsie, but we'll be back with you next week.
Yeah, we're still going to have there will be a video of this, but you won't see these beautiful mugs.
All right, let's just admit it. I have a pimple the size of a testicle on my cheek, and I did not want anyone seeing it. It's got veins and everything. It's gross. I swear, it's smiling. It's smiling at me sometimes.
It could explode at any minute.
Yeah, so we didn't want that on camera.
I don't know whether to give him like Neosporin or Preparation H.
It looks actually like Kirby a little bit. No, yeah. I had an oopsie, forgot some technical equipment. We'll be right back with you next week.
Yeah. So you'll still be able to enjoy it though. So before we get into our reaction of this trailer, we do want to mention that we will be going to Fan Expo Boston, also known as Boston Comic Con, this next upcoming weekend, this Saturday. So if you are going to be there, keep your eyes open. We will be there. We'd love to say hi to you.
Yeah.
Get some, we'll be taking video, taking photo. We're going to put a little compilation thing together, throw it up on the YouTubes.
Absolutely.
So that'll be pretty fun. I'm excited to get some cool guests there this year, good comic guests. So
it's going to be a good one. You know, we'll follow all the safety guidelines and precautions and still have a good time.
But without further ado, let's get into our random reaction video. So we've got this trailer all queued up. So, Brian, you ready to kick this thing off?
I think so.
All right, let's start the trailer in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay.
Using Doctor Strange.
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to
We got Peter and MJ chilling out on a rooftop.
Yeah, still not on board with her being MJ.
She's not Mary Jane. She just goes by MJ. It's a different character.
True. Yep.
Public enemy number 1.
So we got Peter's identity, which we knew would come up.
And again, him getting interrogated by the cops for the death of Mysterio.
Yep.
What do you mean? Now that everybody knows.
And they were alluding to this, that, you know, Peter and then his secret identity coming out, that there were going to be repercussions, and it looks like this is one of them.
Yes, sir.
He can't hide in plain sight anymore.
But this isn't about me.
Those days are gone.
It's like Civil War when he revealed his identity.
I've just been thinking about how to fix
absolutely.
Oh, wizards. That must mean Doctor Strange.
So, Peter.
Yeah, so there he goes.
I'm sorry to bother
Visiting
you, sir.
Doctor Strange.
It's snowing.
Doctor Strange and
Okay.
he's looking like Fat Thor a little bit.
Right?
Feels weird, but I'll allow
I mean, he's wearing a hoodie and a jacket, but
I guess everyone deserves to be comfy sometimes.
got the black suit.
Got screwed up.
Black spider suit.
I saw that. Was
Yeah.
that the stealth suit?
I don't know yet. It was red and gold. Black and gold, so.
It's too dangerous. Fine.
He's like, don't
I love-
worry.
yeah.
I won't.
Get the little wink here.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to cast that spell.
The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker.
There he is. He's cooking up the spell.
Everyone?
Here comes Parker to fuck it all up.
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna
You think he would give him a heads up beforehand, like, oh, dude, by the way,
Well-
don't talk while I'm casting this spell.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see if they actually talked about this world-altering spell before doing it. And
Yeah, I'm thinking we
just
may...
like Loki, that's the multiverse that they just went through.
We know Marvel, too. Sometimes they do fake outs and trailers. Like,
Right.
we're seeing stuff that's not even going to be in the final film.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. This is full-on, like, Inception style right
Yeah.
now. Buildings and everything is flipping and train cars flying in the air.
Yeah.
The problem is you trying to live two different lives.
No.
Peter
The longer
getting
you do it,
shot
the more
out of the
dangerous
cell.
it becomes.
Spirit shit with.
There was Sandman, Electro. There's the
This
Green
was
Goblin
when I was
grenade.
like, holy shit. And then to finally bring me to climax,
Yeah,
it
this
was
moment
this
right here.
Yeah.
Doc Ock's tentacle.
Nerdgasm,
Yeah.
you know. Hello.
we go.
The way he delivered that hello, Peter.
Yeah.
Holy
Alfred Molina.
shit, dude.
Reprising his role as Doc Ock.
Oh, my goodness.
December 17th.
Looking great as usual, too.
And you notice that too at the end, exclusively in movie theaters.
Yeah.
So this will not be launching on Disney Plus.
I'm okay with that because this is something I wanted to see in a theater.
So let's go back and again, full disclosure, we've already watched this trailer a couple dozen times. So this wasn't so much of a reaction in real life as it was talking about
any other trailer, and I wouldn't be as excited about it. But this one, there's so much to unpack that I don't mind rewatching it and doing a reaction on the podcast.
Yeah, and we'll be doing some more like live reaction videos in the near future, especially on our YouTube content. So be sure to check that out. But so this trailer, right off the bat, we talked about it multiple times, but they mentioned we weren't going to get a trailer.
Yes.
They said, nope, we're going to go into this movie cold. You're not getting anything. And then lo and behold, they dropped the trailer.
And whether it was planned or whether they released it, I mean, they had it made, so of course they were going to release one, but I wonder if it leaking had anything to do with them releasing it right away rather than waiting.
I don't think so, because if you go back to, and you've probably seen it on the Twitter sphere and everything else, but the trailer released on August 23rd.
Yeah.
And if you go back to WandaVision,
Right.
I think it was the first episode.
Yeah.
When they're trying to figure out,
Why
what
there's
is today? Why is it a special day? And it's got the heart on the calendar.
Yeah.
It was August 23rd.
Exactly. It was August 23rd, 2022, technically. But, yeah, I remember seeing that video, and I was like, no shit. Because, yeah, in WandaVision, they never actually confirmed or denied what that was, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was Mr. Hart. That was the day he was coming over for the interview. But the fact that they still released a trailer on that date,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
It
suspect.
seems a little sus.
But let's talk about the trailer. So we knew at the end of the second Spider-Man film,
Yep.
Mysterio gets killed, but classic Mysterio.
Makes it
he's
seem
got
like
that
Peter's fault.
Yeah, he's got the one last out, making it seem like Peter caused his death, and he outs his identity.
Yeah.
And
then we have a cutscene showing J. Jonah Jameson, yeah, from the Tobyverse, as I like to call it, or the Raimiverse, whatever you want to call it, which kind of gave us like, okay, this is where the movie's going to set up, and this is where it could go, because that's when theories about Raimiverse colliding could come from,
Yeah, and especially where Raimi's directly involved with Doctor Strange and the
Yes.
Multiverse of Madness. So we'll get up to Strange in a second. But the first kind of like half of this trailer, and I don't know how much they're going to do in this in the film, but it's Peter dealing with the repercussions of his secret identity being outed.
Yeah.
We even see he is being questioned by the police, saying, hey, like, you were involved with the death of Mysterio. And they even said, they were your drones that caused all this damage. So there's probably going to be fallout from that.
And it shows him looking at a bunch of paperwork. So it looks like it was pre-planned, and maybe all the shit's in his name and all this other stuff. Like,
well, Stark gave him that text. So, I mean, with a little bit of digging, they could probably figure that out. But, I mean, you're seeing it impact him. He's walking through school, and people are just mobbing him, trying to take pictures.
Yep.
Him walking just anywhere he goes, he's just being mobbed.
It's a tale as old as time where our heroes have fallen and they're looked down upon.
Yeah, so I mean he's in the limelight, and he does not like it one bit.
No.
So who does he go to?
MJ. Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, his good old buddy, Dr. Stephen Strange.
Okay, so here we go right here. Are we thinking this is the real Doctor Strange?
That's what I want to get into. So right off the bat, just the way he's acting, the way he's dressed, he's not acting like Stephen Strange that we know.
He's acting like Fat Thor.
And more to the point, Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange, he's a calculated dude.
Right.
And he doesn't take risks unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
We've seen him do that multiple times in the way he's learned things, and he'll delve into learning information and this or that ad nauseum, but he does it with a purpose.
Yeah.
And him knowing like the potential repercussion of casting this spell, that it could shatter and create this multiverse, all over just hiding Peter's identity.
Yeah.
Like why would he agree to take that risk so willingly?
That's what I'm questioning. And not only that, but on the different side of the coin, his ego and the fact that he saved the universe and did all this stuff, maybe he thinks he's just so good he doesn't have to worry about it. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. Hint, hint. So on the other side, it could be the real Doctor Strange just being a very egotistical sorcerer, to say. But I think it's more likely that there is a storyline in the comics that says the devil tricks Peter into a whole thing. Admittedly, I never read it. I heard about it
it's
online.
Mephisto.
Yeah, and it turns out to be Mephisto.
And that was a big thing in WandaVision. Everybody was saying it's got to be Mephisto. It's got to be Mephisto. Didn't end up happening.
Yeah.
But he was also very involved in House of M. And, it's... Something is definitely up with Strange in this.
It could be a devil-like character. I mean, the fact that it's snowing in the Sanctum, and he's the devil in disguise hint in the beginning of the trailer, where it shows a sign behind Tom Holland.
I saw that too. It's like Spider-Man is the devil or something like that.
It says devil in disguise, and he's got red horns on him.
Yeah.
And it could be a little foreshadowing into, this is a devil-like character that's tricking him into doing this. Who knows?
There's a lot of people, too, that say Marvel, at least from a marketing standpoint, they don't want to go down that road.
Right.
Of, like, they'll get into, like, when it comes to gods.
Yeah.
They'll get into, like, Thor and things like that. But now if you're talking tangible, like he pretty much is the devil.
Yeah.
And if you're getting into that, I mean, right off the bat, that's not going to play well in China, in the Chinese markets. They won't even show it.
I say a devil-type character, because I don't think they would go full, like, Satan. Maybe, who's the devil in Jotunheim or whatever the hell from Thor's universe? Either way, it could be something like that, or it could be an imposter like Mephisto. Like you said, there's something definitely off about this whole situation here.
So he asked Strange to go ahead and cast that spell and to erase everybody's memory of Peter Parker being Spider-Man. Little does he realize that's also going to erase, MJ, Aunt May, his good buddy. So he's like, whoa, I don't want to do all that. And apparently, from what we can see in the trailer, that makes the spell go crazy.
Yep.
And it shatters the universe. It creates a multiverse. We think. Again, Marvel, they have done misdirection in their trailers in the past, and we could see 100% a lot of that in this, but after that moment happens, it's pretty much Inception Spider-Man.
Yeah. And let's remember, we also have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming up.
Yeah.
So what may be happening in this movie might not be resolved by the end of the movie. It might leave it open for the new Doctor Strange movie, too.
Yeah, I'm going to venture to guess it won't be resolved.
Yeah.
And obviously with what just happened in Loki and with Kang now involved, and we know multiverse is happening with Kang.
Yeah.
And the different versions of him and the different multiverses and timelines coming into play. Plus, you have Wanda. Wanda will be directly coming into the Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel, at some point, I'm almost kind of hearkening back, not to go back to anime, but, looking at it's almost like the Dragon Ball problem where, you started out with the original Dragon Ball and then the power scaling happened in Dragon Ball Z. And when you get to a point where you have a character that can literally point a finger and blow the planet up with almost like no effort,
like
you're going to hit a power scaling issue at some point.
A little bit, yeah.
So they're kind of getting into that now with going like full on multiverse, and so I don't know what's going to happen, but it seems like, you know, Strange is working with Spider-Man, and they're trying to kind of right the wrongs and figure out what's going on with this spell. And then all throughout it, towards the end of the trailer, you start getting little glimpses and teases of different classic Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, I mean, we first see little snippets of Electro and Sandman.
Yeah.
It could be that Sandman's still a good guy from Spider-Man 3.
Well, that's the funny thing, because it looks like the lightning is shooting into the giant sand.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Electro and Sandman are like going at it.
That's what I was thinking. So we get a couple snippets of that. Then, let's see here.
Then the big one after that is the Goblin grenade.
Yeah, of course. Then we get to the bridge where that thing comes rolling down the bridge and we have the laugh in the background. Now, I am hopeful, and it does sound like William Dafoe on the Green Goblin voice.
So I listened to the laugh a couple times on this and just tried isolating it.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Willem Dafoe laugh.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
I mean, you're going to introduce Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro.
It's got to be Willem Dafoe.
And then Green Goblin and not have it be Willem Dafoe? That would be a fuck up on their part.
Yeah, and
Unless it's James Franco, and then we're all so lucky, because that would be the Green Goblin we all
it won't
want.
be Franco. Disney's not bringing him in with all the allegations and other shit going on.
So it's got to be Willem Dafoe.
So they haven't... The big reveal, obviously, in this trailer, which we're getting to now, the very end, you get to see one of the Doc Ock tentacles come up.
Oh, yeah.
And then, hello, Peter.
Delivered perfectly.
And it's arguably one of the best live-action comic villains we've ever got in any film.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina. He's back as Otto Octavius, Doc Ock. And the question is this the Doc Ock that we're familiar with from the Tobyverse?
Yep.
Or is it just another multiverse version?
I think the biggest mistake Marvel can make is introducing these villains and not having Toby and Andrew in it. How are you going to introduce Doc Ock and then not confirm that it is the Raimiverse and that we see Toby in it and he's actually saying hello, Peter, to Tobey Maguire?
So you don't want them to pull a Ralph Boner?
Yeah, no, because people are hyped, like really fucking hyped about this, and if you pull the rug from under them and don't have any of the other two Spider-Mans in there, you will have backlash.
I would say, at least from my circle of friends that are into these Marvel films, I think this is the most hyped, like, non-full team-up film.
Yeah.
That, like, a solo film that Marvel has released.
Yeah.
Up until this point.
Absolutely.
All of the Marvel... Because, like you just said, like,
I got
you have
goosebumps when I saw this scene right here.
You're getting the old fans with the new, because you and I grew up, like, especially like people around our age, if you're in like mid to late 30s, Tobey Maguire, those original Raimi Spider-Man films, not so much the third one, but Spider-Man 1 and 2, especially Spider-Man 2, was just like a masterpiece.
So this is the thing, right? The people watching these movies right now, a big majority of them are kids and then our age range, because we're coming from the age of when superhero movies started blowing up, Spider-Man and X-Men,
Yeah, they were the ones that really started it, and, Blade to a different extent.
Yeah,
but
this is a point where it's all blending together. I mean, of course, we got the Avengers and everything, comics, and a whole bunch of history and team-ups coming together. This is kind of like the first movie universe blending together from our childhood and, like, new.
Yep.
So I understand the hype,
Yeah, and if they can... I'm thinking... They've denied it. Also, they've Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they are still denying it to this day.
I saw a video with all three of them sitting down being interviewed, and they're like, so what's the chances of any of you guys being, in a movie together? And they look at Andrew and Toby and they're like, no, never. Honestly, we haven't gotten any calls. Meanwhile, Tom's sitting in the middle of both of them looking side to side, like with a smirk on his face, like, playing with his lip. It screams on his face like I want to say something, but I can't. And it could have been edited, but it was just fucking funny because he does always spoil shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And this would be, if they can keep that under wraps and have that happen in the film, and then even to a greater extent, spiral that out into a live action Spider-Verse film.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It would, yeah. That would slap, yo.
But I think, like, for all the kids listening out there. But I'm with you. Like, if you get that, I mean, it seems like they're setting up a Sinister Six team up.
Yeah.
In this film. And imagine that at the end.
Dude.
You get multiple, like, you get the Garfield Spider-Man, you get the Tobey Spider-Man.
And watch Tobey Spider-Man have a pot belly and be like Peter Parker from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
He's just like, ugh. Now I gotta train you too, kid.
Pete Parker?
Yeah, Pete Parker. That would be good.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Just having them all in the same movie. It would, yeah.
If they could ever sneak, Emma Stone in.
Yep.
As Gwen Stacy.
There's a lot of
Bring her in as Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. I think so my personal opinion, I think if they were going to reveal Andrew and Tobey into this movie, they're going to hold on to Spider-Gwen until whatever movie comes after this for the Spider-Verse. You know what I mean?
So what if, all right, how about this? So we know there's still, because if they're creating multiverse, you could have multiple different things happening at once, or some of these universes merging. What if, like, the very end of the film, so let's say they do bring in Tobey and Andrew, and those are the only other, spider people they bring in. And then at the very end, you could cut to, long story short, they bring in Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, like now
it's real.
Now you could bring Miles in.
Yep.
Because there's been rumors that they're toying with, like, setting up Young Avengers.
Yeah.
And I could see it.
And then we get a cutscene.
Bring in Kamala Khan, bring in...
After the credits, where it's just green ballet slippers, like, walking down the street. We don't even cut to who it is. It's just the sidewalk in New York City. And some hint, like the Peter Parker sign in the background saying Public Enemy #1. And it's just green ballet slippers. Or we cut up and see Emma Stone's face. Who knows? Possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
I would shit myself. I would shit a break.
I'm gonna guess it's going to happen.
I'm sure it will. Yeah.
Not to mention it's Marvel, and they are all about trying to push diversity and everything like that. I mean, you can bring in a female superhero that kicks ass, like Spider-Gwen, and then obviously Miles Morales,
because
half black, half Mexican.
Who else would you bring in?
Latino.
Who else would you bring in for a female superhero that hasn't been introduced already? I mean, Spider-Gwen is the absolute next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's
a fan favorite.
Hugely popular.
Yeah, fan favorite.
Miles is too, though, man. Like, they need to bring those two characters into these properties.
Absolutely.
And it just blows my mind because it's like I'm just thinking about, you got to bring them in, and then we're still.
Didn't Zendaya voice Spider-Gwen in Into the Spider-Verse?
I think so.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think she did.
Oh, man, that'd be a twist.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be a twist I would like or not. I'd have to see it. I don't like her as an actress. Let's see.
She's
if
a good
we can
actress,
confirm
man.
This. In Euphoria, I did think she was a good actress.
I think you're right.
No, it was Haley Steinfeld. I thought she
voiced
did
something recently.
Yeah.
I'm Googling.
Definitely thought she was voicing some Marvel character.
Looking it up.
But, yeah, so, bring Haley Steinfeld in as Spider-Gwen. That'd be cool, too.
Oh, she was Lola Bunny in Space Jam recently, which we talked about.
That's what I'm thinking of. Maybe, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
That film, dude.
Good God,
so bad.
did you have to bring it up? We were having such a good time.
So, yeah, I think the sky's the limit. I'm pumped. I'm hoping they don't spoil too much more.
I would be perfectly happy if we didn't get another trailer. I know I'm in the minority.
We know we're getting Jamie Foxx as Electro, too.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I can't wait to see Tobey and Andrew in the next trailer. Why would you want to?
I wouldn't want
Wouldn't
that.
you want to be in the theater at, like, IMAX and seeing them fucking pop on screen not knowing if they will or not.
Not so much Andrew. I could take him or leave him, but seeing
yeah.
Toby swing in with that original costume.
I'm again in the minority. I did like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, not as Peter Parker. Not to say I didn't like him nearly as much as Tobey Maguire, but so seeing both of them would definitely tickle my fancy, and not in a trailer. You better, if they reveal him in a trailer, I'll be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think we'll get, if anything, they may focus more on the villains.
Yeah,
that Sinister Six angle. But I mean, how much can they jam into this film?
That's the other thing I'm thinking.
Like, I'm getting a little worried that, you know, sometimes you can go a little too much. They're going full on multiverse. You've got to fit in the whole intro act of Peter trying to deal with, you know, his identity, the identity crisis thing.
Yep.
You know, that's going to be at least probably 25 to 30 minutes of the opening film.
Now, while we're talking about the beginning of the film, let's not forget this spell makes it so nobody knows who Spider-Man is, including the Avengers and Tony Stark. So that's a whole nother storyline you could go down too.
I mean, he's dead at that point, but...
Well, yeah, at that point, but he owns all the Stark equipment, but then, you know, he never existed in that world as Peter Parker.
Yeah, technically, Happy Hogan wouldn't know who he is.
Yeah, and you could get real technical, say Doctor Strange wouldn't know who he is after the spell, but because he's the one casting it, I'm sure that's a loophole.
Yeah, and if you go back, it wasn't that no one's going to remember Spider-Man, it's no one's going to remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, but it would be an interesting angle to explore if that was the case, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know how much they're going to delve into that, but it's a possibility. But we'll have to see what happens, man. There's a lot of different directions they can take, and my mind is just still blown that they're going so, like, ape shit crazy now with Multiverse, which we've seen with, you know, Loki, this film, Multiverse of Madness, God knows what else they're going to do.
Yeah.
They haven't even tapped into... You know, you've got Eternals coming out, so God knows what they're going to do with that. And then we still don't even know. They have the entire X-Men universe.
Yeah, and the Fantastic Four.
And the Fantastic Four that they're just, it's waiting in the wings. So, it's a good...
So, Spider-Man X-Men crossover, both Sony.
Yeah, I mean, well...
I don't see it happening, but it could be possible.
Well, it's not Sony anymore. They reacquired the rights.
Who? Marvel reacquired Spider-Man and X-Men?
No. They have a deal with Spider-Man. Sony wouldn't give up Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
They're playing nice back and forth with the Tom Holland character. But X-Men, Marvel completely reacquired the rights in full. So they have that, and they have Fantastic Four.
I thought Sony
would not
involved.
budge on Spider-Man. They would not give it up.
All right. Yeah, I mean, opening up a multiverse, as we know, just leaves everything open. And hopefully it doesn't get too jam-packed in this one. Hopefully they stick to just the original 3 Spider-Men, some of the villains, you know, and leave a loose hanging thread for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I'd even love, like, him just not necessarily defeating any of these villains.
Yeah.
But just maybe hopping multiverse to multiverse and having, like, battles with them.
Hell yeah.
And leaving the Sinister Six thing open.
Yeah.
For, like, a couple films from now to come back, and then they have to battle them, but...
Definitely. Like, the multiverse gets closed somehow before anyone can be beat, so it's all left out there, you know?
Yeah. I still want Secret Wars.
Yeah.
That's why I've been saying it forever. I would love for it to happen. It's a direction I think they can go in eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll see.
So, yeah, this trailer, I think, is one of the best released in a long time from Marvel.
I like it.
Yep.
All right. I think that was a pretty good run through of the trailer.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed it, randos, as much as we did. We're pumped about it.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Comments, give us a like, subscribe. YouTube video will be up. You just won't see our faces, so.
Well, randos, we will be back next week. We are out. Later.
Hasta luego.